This is a video on the 10 things you need to know about commercial real estate appraisals. As a reminder, I am making these videos to help others looking to obtain financial freedom, achieve their goals, tackle their fears and get the confidence they need, so they can start their journey to financial freedom. If you have the drive and desire to generate wealth, but not the know-how, let's get after it. I am doing a video on this topic, as I am in the process of closing on a 6-unit building. I own almost 20 residential rental units, and approaching $250,000 a year in passive rental income. I still have a growing appetite for good deals, as real estate is a big part of my strategy for financial freedom. This deal, I thought, was going to put me one step closer to my FIRE goals. Or was it? I had an accepted offer, got an approval for a commercial loan, and we are up to the appraisal in the timeline. It's important to know, the commercial loan process has more due diligence than the residential loan process, including different appraisals. This is a good thing. There are a few folks who would disagree and complain about appraisals, but not buyers like me. I like the extra eyes on deals. This recent deal, I might end up saving over $60,000 due to the appraisal. If this deal goes through, costing the seller $60,000 off the top line of the purchase price. Remind me in the comments to never complain about appraisals. Ever in the future. Okay, back to what you need to know about appraisals, and how to work with appraisers. Keep in mind, the inspection is only a small part of the appraisal process. Depending on the size and complexity of the property to be appraised, it might take less than an hour, to several hours to inspect the property. Some folks perceive the inspection as the entire process, but the truth is, that it is just the beginning. Appraisers research public ownership and zoning records, investigate demographic and lifestyle information, and compile comparable sales, replacement costs, and rental values. They then analyze this information as it relates to the value of the property. Finally, they write a report on their findings. The inspection is just the beginning of an appraisal process that may take several days or even weeks. On my recent deal, the appraiser let the bank know early in the process that the valuation was coming in light. She came back with additional information requests, and we also went back to the seller to re-engage for price concessions. When working with appraisers, don't try to misrepresent the facts. Appraisers are professional skeptics. They take this role seriously. They will seek to verify anything that you tell them, from other sources. They can often ask questions that they already know the answer to, just to test the credibility of the people showing him the property. Appraisers are always thinking about how they will defend their opinions, if they are ever brought to court, even in assignments in which litigation appears unlikely. If you misrepresent anything, the appraiser will discount the credibility of anything else that you say. In this recent deal, the seller's property manager did not show the building well. Did not know many of the facts, and that was clear, when I walked the building with them. This is an area where I think I can add value but also hurt the seller at appraisal. In the same vein, don't withhold information. You will probably be asked if you can provide a property tax bill, a set of drawings of the property, income statements, and other things. You might not know why an appraiser is asking you for something, but it is best to provide whatever you can. Appraisers have no interest in unduly expanding their work. But they do need certain information, and the more you provide, the more quickly they can complete the assignment. If you subsequently dispute the appraiser's opinions, and produce additional information that wasn't provided from the onset, you have wasted valuable time. You or the bank's appraiser must adhere to a strict code of ethics. Appraisers must follow the uniform standards of professional appraisal practice, which, among other things, requires them to provide an unbiased opinion. Failure to follow this might result in disciplinary action from the state, including revocation of an appraiser's certification. If an appraiser refuses to do something that you ask for, it is probably because of the obligation to adhere to these ethics. Outside influence from third parties will be a clear issue. You should be aware, the client is the party that orders the appraisal. If the appraisal is for financing, the lender is the client, not the buyer or the seller. Appraisers are obligated to maintain client confidentiality. So if you are the borrower, or any other party, The appraiser cannot release the appraisal report, or any other confidential information to you. If you order an appraisal as part of a property tax appeal, and are afraid that the appraised value might be higher than the assessed value, you can rest assured that the appraiser won't release the results to the property tax board without your permission. Also, make sure the appraiser knows you want to use the report. If you are looking to buy a property, that might mean you intend to share the appraisal with the seller, your lender, and possibly your local property tax appeal board. These people will be identified in the appraisal report, and are the only ones who are authorized to use the report. On this recent deal, we asked the appraiser to prepare the report, as we need to go back to the seller for concessions. The seller is going to run into this valuation issue with other buyers, so if they are looking to sell, we need to get them a copy of the report quickly, so they can make the decision. When requesting or reviewing, be aware there are 3 types of reports. A restricted use report is the shortest, and least expensive type, but can only be used by the client. The fees can vary based on the size of the property, as well as the scope of the appraisal, but a good starting point for a restricted report might be $1,500 to $2,500. A summary report summarizes the data and analysis, and can be used by any intended user, and can cost upwards of $3,000. And finally, a self-contained report contains all of the details of the data and analysis, but is rarely requested. If you tell the appraiser how you intend to use the report, he or she can guide you as to what type of report you will need. The amount of work involved in reaching conclusions does not depend on the type of appraisal. With a restricted use or summary appraisal, the appraiser will compile large amounts of information that are retained in a file, but are not included in the report. For this reason, there are differences in fees between the various types of reports, as there may be less than the amount of information contained in the reports might indicate. Please note, the date of valuation can change an appraisal materially. This indicates the importance of establishing the date of valuation. Appraisers can appraise property as of the date of inspection, as of a past date, or as of a future date. It is important that you establish the correct date of valuation for your needs. For this deal, we made an offer in November, and due to delays on the lending side, the deal didn't move to appraisal until February. In that time, the cap rates may have come down, or other issues with comparable sales. A lot can change in 90 days. Last but far from least, it's important to tell the appraiser what your interest in the property is. For example, if you want to know what a property is worth free and clear, such as a warehouse you want to move your business into, you are interested in what's called the fee simple interest. In other words, you simply want to know the value of the building and its property. On the other hand, if you want to know what a property is worth to a landlord when occupied by a particular tenant or tenants, you want a leased fee interest. Finally, if you want to know what a lease is worth to a tenant, you want a leasehold interest. This is a common request when people look to buy businesses, as they need to know what the value of the lease is to that business. Be sure to identify which property interest you want appraised. As you can see, there is a lot that goes into appraisals, and I hope you found this video helpful. I will make more videos to help others looking to obtain financial freedom, so they can achieve their goals, tackle their fears, and get the confidence they need, so they can start their journey to financial freedom. If you have the drive and desire to generate wealth, please like and subscribe below.